Hello world of YouTube. Welcome to the last January video people in my position typically make. My anticipation for the year list. Despite what's happened in the past, we've got to look forward to a good, bright future. And what better way to gain that than through excitement? I've done this before. Again, this type of video is pretty common in my line of work. I'm going to list 10 albums and 10 games that I'm excited for to drop this year. Most of the albums are confirmed or are artists that are working on things, and the games are also in a similar vein. As far as albums are considered, one that's dropping literally this week, EarthGang. I really like EarthGang. I thought their last album was really solid. I think that they're a good duo that makes good music, and I'm excited for this new album. Mitski's also dropping her new record this year. Couldn't be more excited. Be the Cowboy is a fantastic album. I really loved it when it came out, and it was my starting point in what is now an artist that I just really love, so I'm excited for her new album. Author and Punisher, industrial one-man nihilist machine, dropping his new album, Crueler, very soon. Very excited to hear that. I actually put one of the songs on that album on my playlist, one of the songs that's dropped already. I put it in the playlist on the Patreon this month. I think it's a really promising track, and I'm excited for that album. Tears for Fears are dropping their first album in forever, The Tipping Point, at some point this year, and I'm excited about that. I really like Tears for Fears. I think that they are also a talented duo, and I'm hoping that whatever they're putting together is as quality as I would expect from those guys. Block Party, and the only reason why I'm hyped for Block Party's Alpha Games is because the single that they dropped for it is actually really promising. I really like that song. I like the energy in it. I like the production in it, and it actually got my curiosity piqued for Alpha Games. And it's funny because after they dropped Hymns, they did drop an album a little more in line with their sound, and I thought it was really good. And if this new album is going to be any indication, they'll continue that trend and put out a really quality release. You guys know I like Block Party. I reviewed their discography, and I'm excited. One artist that I haven't even thought about dropping new music until recently, found out is dropping 2 albums this year. Jack White. I really love Jack White. You guys know I love the White Stripes, and I really thought Jack White's last album was easily one of his most ambitious to date and stuck the landing full stop. So I'm excited to see him drop 2 albums this year. As a guy who loves album sequencing, I wonder how it'll come together as a 2-piece project. Recently, he was on this list as I was writing it, actually also announced a new album that is dropping next month. Big Crit. Crit season is here. He's dropping Roses Don't Die next month, and I'm pretty excited. The new single I thought was really good, if not extremely short. I dug the production, I thought it was a nice groove, and I thought Crit rode the groove well. As far as artists that I know are working on stuff or would conceivably work on stuff, Denzel Curry, who just dropped a new single, really liked the new single, and I think that his new record is probably going to be dope as hell. Denzel is a very consistent artist, and I'm stoked for whatever he has on the horizon. Paramore announced that they're in the studio. Depending on how that comes together, we could have an album this year. If not them, I'm sure the Chili Peppers are going to drop this year a Frusciante record, and that's really promising. Kendrick, he's got to be working on something, right? I know he's doing that movie with the South Park guys. That'll be fun. But, he dropped some good features last year, generated some musical buzz, said that he was working on stuff in one of those verses. Hope that it culminates to a release this year. Seriously. And then another band that this kind of falls into their album cycle as it's been well established in their 5-album run. A band that I discovered recently with this backdrop, Everything Everything. Dropping a new album this year, hopefully, more than likely, because again, their album cycle would land at this point. But I'm always clamoring for more music from them, so if they do drop something, I'd be pretty stoked on it. As far as games go, there's a handful of things on here that were one of the few promising games that were supposed to come out last year, pushed to this year. Horizon Forbidden West and Elden Ring, 2 games that are coming out pretty soon that I'm hoping both stick the landing. They both are promising releases from a developer perspective or as a sequel perspective, you know, and I feel like both of those games have the potential to be quality-ass releases. In a smaller scale, a game that was pushed back, the TMNT throwback game that was supposed to come out last year, they had the trailer with Mike Patton. I'm excited for that to come out. I'm always down to play as the Turtles and beat 'em up. You guys might know that. I've done a handful of playthroughs to Shake in the realms of this, and yeah, I really like TMNT, and I hope that Shredder's Revenge is the well-executed homage that it's shaping up to be. You know, they dedicated the turtle stuff in the Nick Smash game to be in the 80s style, so I'm hoping that that kind of follows through on this release. Game that is coming out actually this week, similarly to being excited for the Earth Gang album, Pokemon Arceus, the Origins throwback game that is seemingly going to be a huge divergence in style in some aspects to the Pokemon formula. It's coming out this week. I'm really excited for it. You guys probably know I like Pokemon. I mean, there you go. That's how the frame's supposed to be. Pokemon Arceus looks promising. I'm really excited. I mean, I don't want to get my expectations too high because it is a Pokemon game and they just don't make them like they used to in some regards, but I'm still going to get it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to see if it's good. And hopefully it is. A couple other Nintendo games that were announced that I'm also really excited for in the coming months. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It's Kirby's 30th anniversary. Like I said in my channel of the State of the Channel video, I'm going to be doing some Kirby stuff this year, and part of it involves playing that game when it comes out and just indulging in Kirby, because I think Kirby is awesome. Mario & Rabbids Spark of Hope, a sequel to a game that was a complete surprise to me in recent years. Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle is a fantastic Switch game, and I'm really excited for this sequel to come out. I think Rabbid Rosalina looks fucking awesome, and I hope that the game, again, follows through in glorious splendor. A couple of games that I'm hoping get updates throughout the year and hopefully a potential end-of-the-year release. Breath of the Wild 2. You guys know I like Breath of the Wild. You know I like Zelda. I'm really excited for Breath of the Wild 2. Hopefully it comes out this year. Splatoon 3 as well, if only because I like Splatoon. I think that it's a fun series, but it's a series I haven't really dove into, and I'm going to use Splatoon 3 as my jumping on point in a more serious fashion into this Nintendo series that seemingly does stay consistent with its user base. I've been looking to get back into multiplayer gaming more so this year, and Splatoon 3 is one of the things that I hope drops so that I can continue in that fashion. A couple of indie games that I am stoked as hell for. One of them, just having a really cool concept at its core. Devolver Digital is doing The Wizard with a Gun, which just sounds like a dope-ass time. And then, of course, I mentioned it in my Jet Set Radio video, Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. They just recently dropped an update video that I mentioned on Cash Boys, and I think that it is a fucking awesome looking game. As a guy who likes extreme sports titles and who loves Jet Set Radio, I think a fusion of those could be dope as hell, and I hope that it is. Hideki Naganuma's music is involved, so I'm already really excited in that regard, and I feel like Hideki wouldn't be a part of something if he didn't have hope in it, so I also have hope in Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. And last but not least, it's not technically a game, but it is gonna be a game scale event. Monster Hunter Rise is getting its expansion this year. You guys know I like Monster Hunter Rise. I still am addicted to it, and I really hope this expansion comes out and just continues to dazzle. I think the PC port of Monster Hunter Rise came out recently, so if you have a PC, get Monster Hunter Rise. It's a fucking great time. If you didn't get it on a Switch, or if you don't own a Switch, get it. I'm sure it's going to have mod support, and it'll be awesome, or it'll find its way. It's that kind of game. It's awesome, man. I get Monster Hunter Rise. It's got an expansion coming out this year, a whole new Iceborne style campaign, and I'm stoked for it. But yeah, that's me and gaming in 2022, me and music in 2022. Things I'm excited for. What are you excited for this year? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more of my music, gaming, and general nerdery content, be sure to subscribe. Special thanks to my patrons if you want to join their ranks to get early access to content, exclusive content, or to help drive the community. It's linked in the description. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'm going to get out of here. I've been Devour Rack. You guys have good days, lives, and situations, and I'll see you another day.